Happy New Year, everyone! I hope you all had a safe and happy New Year's Eve celebration with your friends and family. Welcome back to my garden. If you are new to my channel, mahalo for stopping by. I am an orchid lover from Hawaii, born and raised on the island of Oahu, and I've been collecting orchids for about 3 years. In my videos, I take you to orchid shows, orchid nurseries, and show you my garden. Pretty much anything orchid related. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please consider subscribing to my channel. So I wanted to start the new year off by updating everyone on what's been going on in my garden. It's been a while since I did a garden walk, and what better way to start the new year. So the last time I did a video, I had some projects that I was working on, which I have since completed. So I'm going to show you guys that and share with you what I have in bloom. So let's go ahead and get started right here where I have some of my Dendrobiums. And you guys may remember me mentioning that I do have a lot of my orchids in lava rock. And the Dendrobiums is one that does really well. That and my Cattleyas. Also Oncidiums. I do have a lot in lava rock. And as you can see, this one right here is in full bloom. Beautiful cranberry and yellow. Nelson's favorite colors. Hello Nelson! Happy New Year! Tell me what you think of these. Look at how pretty, guys. So one thing I do have to say is that because I'm new to orchids, of course I watch a lot of videos and try to get as much information as I can. And from what I understand is that a lot of orchids do not like their roots disturbed, but these seem to be the exception, because some of you may remember that I got these orchids from a private nursery. They were full of weeds, there were ferns growing in them, and when I brought them home I had to clean them up. And I did quite a bit of damage to the roots, and yet they never suffered at all. This one is in full bloom, and this was just a few months ago. So I guess that theory does not always apply, or that rule does not always apply to every orchid. And I think because these were more mature and established orchids, that they could withstand the shock. Because this one in particular, this antelope type, it was full of flowers for months. And this was non-stop from the time that I repotted until now. So as I mentioned, it was full of flowers. It just recently faded and fell off, and then right away it gave me 3 new spikes. I love Dendrobiums. I know they are taken for granted a lot of times. They seem to be overlooked because I guess they're so common, but they're always in bloom and the flowers last so long. So I absolutely love them, and I have a lot. I have probably accumulated several hundred orchids in the past few years. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would own this many orchids. In fact, for Christmas my daughter gave me a t-shirt, which I'll include it up here on the screen. It says crazy orchid lady, and when I got it I just had to laugh because my kids think I'm crazy. Every time they see me with a new plant, they tell me, don't you already have enough? And my response is always, you can never have enough orchids. And I'm sure a lot of you can agree with me. Anyways, this one is also in spike, and there's another small one right, where is it? Oh, here it is. Right there. But something was eating my new growth, which I noticed. but it still appears to be growing. So I'm not too sure about this one though. As you can see, I'm gonna assume it's probably a slug. So I'll have to treat that. But they seem to be doing okay. I think this one is getting too much sun. And this one also has a sunburned leaf. So I might have to move those. We'll see. What else do I have? This is another one that I repotted. All in lava rock. And it has new growth as well. These have spikes. One there. I know I saw another. Oh, here it is. Where is it? Right there. And again, I just repotted this one not that long ago. Maybe like a week or so. And I think, like I said, if the plant is older, more mature, they don't seem to suffer. There's no setback in blooming, spikes, or anything. Not that I've noticed anyway. I have a spike right here. This one has been in bloom for a while now. I can't even remember when I got this plant, but it still looks really pretty. Another Dendrobium. And more Dendrobiums. I tell you guys, I love Dendrobiums. Look, more here too. I love all orchids. I am definitely a self-proclaimed orchid addict. So this is my rescue section. The orchids that I took from my mom that weren't doing well, I mounted them in hopes to bring them back. I never give up on an orchid. If they show me any sign of life, as you guys can see, look at how small this one is. This is a Cattleya, believe it or not. But as long as it's not fully dried up and shriveled, I will give them every opportunity to recover or show me some kind of life. So this is pretty much my ICU section, the ones that I have hanging anyway. These orchids that I have right here in pots, they must be happy in this section because they are giving me new roots. I love when I see green tips. I get really excited to see blooms and spikes and flowers, of course, but I can't say enough about seeing new roots. Look at that. That is always a good sign. I love those green tips. Anyways, this oncidium right here, some of you may remember this orchid. A friend of mine was gonna throw this in the trash, and I just happened to be at his house and he asked me if I wanted it, and I couldn't believe it. He was gonna throw it away and it was in spike. So it already bloomed for me once and now it is in spike again. I have 4 spikes right now. This one is really tall. Then I have the second one, another one right here, and this one right here. So far I have 4. So we'll see if it gives me any more, but I can't believe he was gonna throw this away. There was no way that I could let him throw this in the trash. He said it took up too much space. Well, I was more than happy to take it off of his hands. Another orchid that's doing really well in this section is this one right here. which has 2 new growths and green tipped roots again. This one has not flowered for me yet, so I am hoping that this year it'll give me some beautiful blooms. This orchid needs to be cleaned up. As you guys can see, this is what I talked about when I said some of the orchids that I purchased, they have ferns growing in them, and as you can see, it looks really bad. I can't stand when my orchids look like this, but I couldn't pass up the price. So I do buy orchids that are in this condition, and I just have to work to get them cleaned up. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes not so easy. This one, I believe I attempted to pull it out of the pot, but it gave me a hard time, so I didn't get around to finishing it, but I will. This is, I believe, the last one that I have that I need to clean up. Anyways, I have more Dendrobiums along my back wall, in baskets, again, in lava rock. They're either in lava rock or bare root. And they do pretty well, except for the fact that they were in spike and something ate it. Something has been attacking my spikes for the past couple months, and it is still a mystery. I don't know what it was. Oh, I think it's gone because I do have several in spike and in bud right now that, cross my fingers, I hope I'm not talking too early, that are still okay. So hopefully whatever's been eating my plants figured out that it doesn't taste that good and stopped. Because honestly, I lost several Cattleya buds and I was so devastated. I was looking forward to them blooming, as I'm sure you guys know the feeling when you're excited to see a flower and to have something happen. It is not a fun feeling at all. So I'm hoping whatever was eating it is gone, because they were taking either entire buds or like massive chunks out of the buds. So it wasn't an insect, it was something bigger. I was told possibly it was a bird or a rat, but oh, here we go with the loud music. That mystery, like I said, it was never resolved. I'm just hoping it's gone. Whatever it was is gone. So where else can I go? Okay, here. I'm gonna show you guys my hapu'u fern stump. Because I don't have trees that I can mount my orchids on, I made my own. And my oncidiums are hanging in there. I haven't seen any new spikes, but they look okay. Hopefully they'll give me some spikes soon. Again, a Cattleya that wasn't doing so well that I mounted on here. This one is showing me, sorry about all the noise guys. So this one is showing me a lot of new root growth, which is good. It's attaching. And this is one right here that I've had mounted for a while. That had a bud that got eaten, so I never got to enjoy the flower. This was one of them. But so far, everything that I have mounted on here seems to be doing pretty well. So some of the projects that I recently got done was shelving. This shelf was moved from the other side of my house to the back. I put up this fencing just to help the grass grow, so that my dog, well, mostly my dog, so that my dog doesn't walk in this area, and hopefully the grass will fill in. But this shelf has been a great addition because, as you can see, I have a lot of orchids on here. So shelving is a great thing to have when you don't have a lot of space. I was kind of hesitant because I don't like the idea of putting orchids over each other, especially when you water and it falls So what I try to do is I try to put the ones that are in rock or bare root below the ones that have bark, because at least the ones that have bark are on the top, which I don't water every day. Most of them I don't water every day. And the ones on the bottom I can water pretty much every day since they're in rock, and I don't really have to worry about overwatering too much. In these baskets, again, more Dendrobiums. Those also were in spike and something ate them. So that's the kind of thing that I was dealing with in the past couple months. Anyways, here's another shelf, and this one is a newer shelf. And it is where I keep a lot of my orchids that are currently in bloom. Look at this pretty one. This one just opened a few days ago, and she smells amazing. She's so sweet. Oh, so sweet, so perfumey. It smells so good. It actually smells yummy, like delicious, as if you could eat it like candy. Oh my gosh, I can't get over that. It's so good. But look at how pretty. And this is the second time this one has bloomed for me. Gorgeous. Another Dendrobium. Couple more Dendrobiums. This one I've had for a while. It suffered mite damage, as you can see, and it didn't bloom for me for a while, and it just started spiking again and blooming after not giving me flowers for quite some time. And prior to that, it was blooming all the time. So I'm glad that it recovered. This is a new orchid that I got from Jimmy's nursery. He has so many Dendrobiums, and they're all so pretty. So every time I go there, I always end up getting a Dendrobium. And this is another one that I recently got from Jimmy's nursery. This Zygo something Honolulu baby. I can't remember the entire name, but this bud turned yellow and did not survive. Hopefully these two will open for me. But very pretty. I'm not sure if it has a smell. I think it's fragrant. I'm not sure if I'm smelling that or if I'm smelling the other orchid that's nearby, but something definitely smells sweet, so could be that. Here is another one from Jimmy's nursery, guys. Look at how big. This is bigger than my hand. And this one has been in bloom for a while. And again, this one is very sweet. Look at that. I don't really smell her right now, but normally she smells really sweet. Very, very pretty. And this one is from S&W Orchids, and this is the last two flowers that I'm getting. It was full of sheath when I first got it, and I believe they gave me already 4 or 5 flowers, but they didn't all bloom at the same time, so I'm getting to enjoy these last two. And this one does have a fragrance. Right now it doesn't smell as strong, but it is sweet smelling as well. And I think that's the last of the blooms on this one. I don't see any other sheets that are full. This is another one from Jimmy's nursery. It is fading, but when it was fresh and had just opened, the yellow was amazing. It was so bright yellow. It was so pretty. But as you can see, it's already on its way out. This orchid right here, I don't know what it's called. When I saw it at Jimmy's nursery, there was one that was already open in bloom. It was a pink flower, but I wanted to get it fresh, so I got the one that was in bud. So when it opens, I will update you guys on that. And here we have another Dendrobium. Told you guys I love my Dendrobiums. This one has been in bloom for a while. Again, this one is also from Jimmy's nursery. And here's another orchid that I repotted in a tree fern. Alright guys, let's move along. So this is the side of my house. Very narrow, but with shelving, again, you can fit a lot of orchids in a tight space. I have another Dendrobium over here. This one has a little spike coming out. I have some air plants. My Maxillaria tenuifolia. I don't really have anything in bloom over here. So this was something I did recently and I'm hoping it does well. I put it in a tree fern stump again. And I'm hoping that it thrives because it wasn't doing well when I had it in the box. So we'll see. And remember how I told you guys I don't give up on my orchids? Well, look at this. This just has one suitable, one leaf. But look at those roots, guys. It's growing. So hopefully it'll be okay. These are some Cattleyas again that I'm trying to save. These are in lava rock. Hopefully they'll be okay. These are my Angrecum. This Angrecum right here I got from the Hilo Orchid show. I believe it is called the Darwin Orchid. And if you guys haven't watched that video yet of the Hilo Orchid show, go ahead and check that out because the vendor that I got this from, he gave a really great story about how this orchid gets pollinated. So if you're interested in hearing that, it is on my Hilo Orchid show video. Again, more Dendrobiums, guys. I told you I have a lot. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys to the other side of my house where I have more projects that I recently completed. Before I go to the side, let me show you this Oncidium. This has been in bloom for a while. When this first opened, the colors were so vibrant. It was amazing. It's still burnt yellow right now, but you can tell they're not as fresh. But this is so pretty. And I believe I got this at Akasuka Orchid Garden while I was on the Big Island for the Hilo Orchid show. Either that or from Carmela Orchids, I can't remember. One of the two. Again, new roots, spikes, more new roots. So I'm seeing a lot of good things happening. Thank goodness, more good than bad, because I was feeling really defeated when I kept having spikes disappear on me or buds getting eaten. I was feeling very upset. So the fact that I'm seeing some positive things, it is making me feel a lot better. I do see some new growth. Oh, there's some buds right there. My Spathoglottis, they're always in bloom. Okay, So I do have a lot of my mounted orchids here. These are some phals that I've been trying to bring back. Hopefully they'll recover. This one has so many roots, and it attached nicely to this tree fern. Look at that. This one as well. This orchid was not doing good, but it's happy on this, mounted on this piece of hapu'u. Look at all those roots, guys. This was an experiment. It's been on here for a few months now and seems to be doing okay. So I'm gonna let it be, and hopefully it'll bloom for me sometime this year. These are new. Just put these on recently, so hopefully they will attach. They'll grow some new roots and attach, and they'll be okay. Only time will tell. So one big project that I got done, guys, was this right here, my Honokono wall, or my wall of Honokonos. This entire wall is full. So hopefully this spring I will have an amazing display of very fragrant, beautiful Honokono orchids. The leaves are already starting to turn and fall. And I do have more on this side as well. I have some Vandas. These are all of the branches that I had to cut because they got damaged during the winter storm that we had a couple weeks ago. And I didn't get a chance to throw these away yet. My green can was full last week. So now that it's empty, I have to go and pick those up. But some of you may remember that I used to have shelves on this side, and it was a really tight squeeze to walk through here. But as you can see now, it's a lot more spacious. I mean, it's still tight, but I'm not having to squeeze between the shelf and my orchids on this side. This Vanda right here is in bud. And this one right here, it is a great bloomer. It blooms for me all the time. Look at the roots. So this is another new project that I got done in that time that I was missing from YouTube when I didn't do my garden walks. I was working on all of this. So I put up some shelving, and I just had to move a lot of orchids around. So I do have a lot of my Honokono kikis up here, and my cut canes right below, so that way when I water, they get watered. I've got a lot of air plants, guys. Before I got addicted to orchids, I was addicted to air plants. So I do have quite a bit of air plants as well. I have lost a lot, but these are air plants that survive. I don't know what happened, why I lost so many, but they started having some kind of white, I don't know if it was an insect infestation or what it was, but they just would just basically fall apart. Anyways, this is my new Cattleya section. So this section is full of Cattleyas. These are all in lava rock, the ones that I have on this side. And The ones that I have on this side are still in bark, most of them. So this again, I fixed this area. I changed it around. I moved the shelves. I added this second shelf. And I do have a lot more space to put more when I keep adding on, because I know I'm gonna keep adding on to my collection. I don't see myself ever stopping. This Dendrobium also has been in bloom for a really long time. The flowers last so long. So the other project I did was I removed the shade cloth that I had over here because I don't think I need it. And I put up a shelf behind here instead of the pipe that I had. And I have a lot of little vandas and seedlings. Down here I have some mounted orchids that I'm trying to again recover. This one has new roots. This one is in lava rock. It hardly had any roots when I took it out of the pot. So just orchids that I'm trying to have recuperate and come back. This is another orchid. I don't have the name for this one. I know it got ID'd by someone when it was in flower. I just have to go back and look and put a tag in here. But this one bloomed for me several times already. This section, this is where I had the shelf. So this shelf that was here used to be back here, but now I put up 2 posts. And as you guys can see, I changed my shade cloth. I put a frame so that the shade cloth is a lot tighter and neater. I originally did hoops, which I mean, for the most part it worked, but I didn't like how it looked, so I'm much happier now. I put another pipe up here to put my air plants, and I have 2 rows of pipes. So these are my orchids that I have in baskets, and this one is bare root. This Cattleya is in bare root, and take a look, guys. New roots. Gotta love the new roots. Oh yeah, and this one has a sheep. Hopefully something will be in there. I don't see anything right now, but hopefully there will be. And this one is just in lava rock. So the lava rock method works really well for my growing conditions. This one I got from Sheldon of Carmela Orchids. This is the Dendrobium Lillian Yamada. And ever since I moved her back here, she seems to be happy because she is looking really good. This orchid right here is doing good. Again, more new roots. And in lava rock, guys. And that's the tag for this one. This one is in bark. These are in bark. And most of these have new roots. I'm seeing a new growth. I just noticed that right there. This one is in lava rock. You can see the green roots. More here. Pretty much all of them have new roots. They all seem to be happy. So when they're happy, I'm happy. Look at that. Look at the roots, guys. This is one that I recently put in this basket. And look at that. Just a little bit of lava rock on the bottom. And this is kind of like what Ben Oliveros, if you guys watched that video that I took of the Honolulu Orchid Society meeting with speaker Ben Oliveros, he talked about potting them in baskets. Well, this one I just added a little bit of lava rock on the bottom and I secured it with some wire, because that is what I heard. They need to feel secure. They can't be wiggling around, because if they wiggle around, they won't grow. And look at the roots. And I just put this one in here maybe a week or so ago. Hasn't been that long. Anyways, as I mentioned, my Spathoglottis, they're always in bloom, guys. Look. So that is my garden, everyone. That is my little tour. I don't have that much in bloom, so I don't have that much to show you guys. This is my dog. This is Diamond, everybody. Diamond, say hi. Happy New Year. She's an old lady. She's about 11 years old already. Poor thing. She was so scared these past few months because some of you may know that Hawaii, they are pyromaniacs. They love to set off fireworks. And it has been going off for the past few months here. And last night was absolutely insane. That's my Talomnia. How do you say it, guys? Talomnia. Anyways, I mounted it. It seems to be okay. Hopefully it'll bloom for me again. Oh, I just noticed some new growth right there on this zygo. Anyways, I was saying last night was insane. So she spent most of her time indoors, but fireworks were just going off like crazy here. So I did buy a new product that I wanted to share with you guys. A lot of you may know. Oh, I forgot, I do have a Vanda hiding in this section. I don't know if you can see it. But it's in there. Oh, and I do have I forgot what it's called. Arachnus mounted to this tree fern as well. But it doesn't seem to be doing that great. I mean, I water it. But the color is not very nice. So I bought a new product, and as I was saying, a lot of you know that I do not like to use harsh chemicals. So I recently called a garden supply store, and they recommended this product. It's all natural, and it's supposed to help build the orchid's natural immunity, defense against disease and fungus and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try it and I will let you guys know. It's called Regalia. If you guys heard about it or used it, leave me a comment, let me know how it works for you. But it is kind of pricey. I think I paid almost $70. In fact, let me go get the bottle. So this is it, guys, right here, Regalia. It is, how many ounces? It is 1 quart, right there. And it cost me, like I said, I think it was almost $70 on Amazon. But it is concentrated, so it can make a lot once you mix it with water. but it had really good reviews on Amazon. So I'm gonna try it, and I will let you guys know my results, because I think that going all natural is the best way. It's not only good for us and our health, but for the environment, because we don't want to expose ourselves to harsh chemicals as much as possible. So if we can find a natural product that works and works well, it's just a win-win for everybody. Anyways, guys, that is gonna be it. Oh, look at this butterfly. Beautiful. It's going on my flowers. I love seeing butterflies in my garden. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I'm glad I was able to update all of you on what's been going on in my garden, show you guys my new projects, and I look forward to making more videos. So if you guys like today's video, please don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, please help me grow my channel by hitting that subscribe button as well. Anyways, I will catch you guys on the next video. But until then, remember to always live aloha.